chilling. You see me traveling, damn it, Jim, this thesis is unraveling. SPACs are at navigant, do it look like I'm panicking? Some got shook and froze up like a mannequin, but me, I ain't abandoned them, I been had a plan for them. This is what you gonna do, don't chase what's in front of you. Lean on back and relax and let it come to you. Now you know that's just my kind of vibe. Picking up units on sale for $9.95. Price lower than a low rider. Riding by, you can see it in my eyes. I ain't trying to drive like an open door helicopter. I'm so fly, so high. I'ma try to eat the pie in the sky. Time to buy and fly somewhere way overseas. Kick back, taste some trees with my face in the breeze. See, for me, I execute patience with ease.
Y'all hear the music video?
Daydreaming about making them squeeze. They wanna kick me off the street and send me back to the app. I think they thought that we'd be mad that the SPACs are at nav. I just laugh. You realize my first name is Cash. I always keep some extra stash. Never down with my last. You should follow on the gram so you can see my journey. Now I get to watch Fast Money.
Okay, cool.
I was early in Kauai, right beside me. You should spend a day with me.
This music video, SPACs just chilling. They played it on CNBC.
Faithfully, they stay with me. Don't take
I was like, I think I'm the first person to ever be on CNBC with their nipples out.
That's my bank account. Rarely losing the trade. It's foolish. I
they play this part.
Now it's sunny, but I'm cool as the shade. Just chilling.
It was on Fast Money.
We just chilling.
We just chilling, you know, just like the song said. We just chilling. A lot of people going crazy right now in the markets.
Shout out to just chilling.
We over here just chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Just chilling.
Cassius Cuvée and all my folks in the private group, man, in the Discord. We just chilling. Exactly, just like the song say, boys.
Recording live from Kauai. It's your boy Cassius Cuvée.
Yep, I shot that music video in Kauai. We're gonna let it loop one more time. For anybody who don't know, I've been making songs about finance and stuff for a long time now. You just dropped in April 2021.
It's unraveling.
Been doing this for a minute now, you feel me?
Look like I'm panicking.
Even on vacation, I was watching CNBC and doing my
like
thing.
A mannequin, but me, I ain't abandoned them. I been had a plan for them. This is what you gonna do. Don't chase what's in front of you. Lean on back and relax and let it come to you. Now you know that's just my kind of vibe. Picking up units on sale for $9.95. Price lower than a low rider. Riding by, you can see it in my eyes. I ain't trying to drive like an open door helicopter. I'm so fly, so high. I'ma try to eat the pie in the sky. Time to buy and fly somewhere way overseas. Kick back, taste some trees with my face in the breeze. See, for me, I execute patience with ease. Poolside, daydreaming about making them squeeze. They wanna kick me off the street and send me back to the app.
Baby.
I think they thought that we'd be
Bitcoin
mad
price
that
starting
the
to pump
SPACs
right
are
now.
at nav. I just laugh. You realize my first name is Cash. I always keep some extra stash, never down to my last.
Bit,
you should follow on the gram so you can see my journey. Now I get to watch Fast Money. 3 hours early in Kauai, right beside me. You should spend the day with me and act like a SPAC. Take a little vacay with me. Faithfully, they stay with me.
We
Don't
went
take
over there
back
right after COVID.
I ain't got no
like we
savings.
were locked down 3 of the days, and after that it was
Rarely
open.
losing the trade.
So I had the whole place to myself. It was
all this
dope.
money now it's sunny, but I'm cool as the shade. Just
I wrote the rap as soon as I got there, and we just filmed the video right after that. I literally wrote it right there.
Just chilling.
All right. We just chilling, but the market is doing its thing. It was crazy on the weekend, but now we just chilling. If anybody was out there trading, hopefully you didn't get wrecked. There was a lot of volatility, you know what I'm saying? The type of stuff that can get you a lot of people liquidated. But
it's your boy Cassius Cuvée.
You're tuning in here with your boy Cassius Cuvée to show you how to do this correctly and safely. As I always say, my number one goal is to make sure you don't get wrecked. All right, that's my main goal. Now I got a few topics we're gonna cover today, and I want to just go through them real quick. Let me see here. Yeah, I had to start live streaming because I have too much information in my brain, so I got to write the stuff down. I got to put on my phone. I got so much stuff. Okay, but some of the tickers we're going to be covering today is XRP because I had to trade in that, close that. I ended up closing everything, posted in the private Discord. Tron, that trade was open later, and Bitcoin was open later. Ended up closing those. Right on, all set. FartCoin is bullish compared to Bitcoin. I'm going to show you guys how I make the decision to go through and determine what's been bullish or what's been bearish, okay? I'm going to show you guys that. And this is one thing I wanted to say. I posted on Twitter this morning. When people post things like, oh, prices are down, it seems like a good time to buy. That's not an investment strategy, okay? If you really want to make some money, you got to be precise. And all I'm doing here on this live stream is showing you how I make money trading. That's really what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? This is how I make money trading crypto. I want to give you all the games so everybody has opportunity, because finance used to just be for the wealthy and the people who already had money passed down to them, or whatever the case may be, big corporation owners, but now it's democratized. And with crypto specifically, it's accessible globally. And, it makes it, obviously, we can trade right now at 7 p.m. Pacific time, and markets are still open. And, one of the reasons I love crypto because it's 24/7. So for all the new people out there, this is an opportunity for you to learn how to trade in a way that fits your schedule, a way that fits your strategy, your bankroll management, however you want to do it. I know all the strategies, long-term, short-term, everything like that. So we're going to go over I want to show you how to find a bullish and bearish ticker on TradingView. So if you guys are in my private Discord, you know that I have a channel. I have multiple channels. One is for tickers that are relatively bullish to Bitcoin and tickers that are relatively bearish. Right, and the markets can't be halted either. Also, shout out to Blockchain Cowboy. He's pointing out the fact that stocks can be halted when there's too much volatility. This is a real thing. I mean, if you lived through any time period where there was heck of crazy time periods, be like, oh my God, the market was tanking, so they just halted it. You're like, what? Oh my God, we're making too much money. Price is going up. Halted it. And then it'll be a short squeeze and they'll halt it. And then it'll come back and you start squeezing it and they'll halt it again. Some stuff's been halted like 22 times in one morning and stuff. It's ridiculous. Crypto, that can't happen. Crypto, that cannot happen. But there's some other weird stuff that can happen, and we're going to go over it, okay? A quick sneak preview, because yesterday there was some weird stuff. I'm going to show you with all this volatility. Look at this, all right? This is Zcash. This a big move. We were looking at this. This, put into perspective. This right here, move this out the way. This right here, you can see, this was Thursday. This was Tuesday. So somewhere in here was that I guess it was this Thursday, was that big volatility day with the tariff announcements. And basically, this move that happened yesterday was twice as big as it. So we're going to talk about altcoins and how crazy they can move. I was actually in this trade, which is why I noticed it, right? So let's see. First thing I want to do, let me just see real quick. Oh, and this is what I also want to say. This is why I always talk about boring is better, okay? Boring is nice sometimes because you just stick with the ebb and flow and you look at market Cipher B and you just take your profit. But in crypto, boring only lasts you but for so long, okay? So this is Zcash, but we're going to start with Bitcoin, all right? Now, obviously, Bitcoin had its move down, but I just want to call out something like Zcash. It happened a little bit late. This crazy waterfall, this big candle happened at 2,200, where by 2,200, Bitcoin had already made a big chunk of its move. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes this is why things are an opportunity for an altcoin. If it's lagging, you see Bitcoin going, and then you say, oh, man, maybe I can find an altcoin that hasn't been moving or one you got on your list, and then you're like, I'm going to short it. Especially if you think it's relatively bullish or relatively bearish, you go with that trend. Now, what I want to go over here, because I do this so quickly when I do it by myself, is I look for what's relatively bullish or bearish, and I called this out in the private Discord because I wanted to say that when you have a big waterfall like this, when everything just crashes all of a sudden, an easy way to determine what's recently bullish or bearish is how big of a bounce the coin has had. This is not an exact science. It's just something I happen to tend to see as you go through the coins. So this is how I'm determining it. I'm determining it how much it recovered relative to itself, and then basically that relative difference to Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin, just ballpark, it dropped down here, it bounced back up about 75% of the way, something like that, we'll call it, right? I don't even need to use the ruler. This is not about exact science. You could do it. That's one way to do it, okay? So you got to look at that. The other thing is you also have over here, depending on what time of day, in TradingView, this column here, it says percent change, okay? It's a little misleading because Bitcoin is obviously going to have like a smaller percentage, whereas what I'm trying to do is like compare how much it bounced, how much it recovered relative to itself, okay? But if you just had the move, like say right before the day started, because 5 p.m. is 2 hours ago basically is when the day starts for crypto, sometimes you can see, okay, if the move just happened, like how much did it bounce like recently from that? But most people are just looking at the charts. So here we go. Bitcoin, okay, they covered about 75% of it. All right, let's see how many others covered more or less than that. Not quite. It looks like it was lagging. It played a little catch up. This is TRX. We're looking for the extremes, though. You feel me? Nikkei is up over 6%. U.S. futures up. Bitcoin up. Shorts getting destroyed soon. Okay, yeah. I mean, short squeeze. It looks like shorts are already starting to get destroyed. But everything matters on time frame, right? So, that's a relative statement. Destroyed how? Depends on where they've been shorting from, right? So here we go. We're going to go down a list. I got Bitcoin. I literally just used the arrow button, point down. XRP, not quite as much, but relatively the same. This was kind of an anomaly considering how ridiculous that waterfall was. We're going to come back to it. But I would say it's about the same. It looks like it's bounced a little more relative to Bitcoin, but a little bit of an anomaly, so it's harder to judge. FartCoin, bullish. Look how bullish FartCoin is. This is definitely going on the bullish list here, right? Remember when we did this whole trade back here? This is already shot way up over that, and I mentioned that in the live stream last time. I was like, you know what, guys? This was actually the wrong coin for me to short, and my system still protected me. That was kind of the point because I took profit on this blue line here. I actually did it twice here and here. I could have gone down one more, but I got out because all this happened. I was out too quick. I went to sleep and woke up, took my profit, right? But man, everybody tanked here, but FartCoin shot up. That is clearly a bullish ticker relative to Bitcoin. And I have to call it out because there's not as many bullish as there are bearish, okay? So that's an obvious one. This one recovered fully. This has been extraordinarily bearish, though. So I do zoom out and look at it. I'm going to call that break even, same as Bitcoin. Degen, bearish. Look at that. Look how muted that move was. You're trying to get this little kicker here. You can even judge it by this one candle right here. If you look at that candle compared to Bitcoin, that was when the market first opened. I should say the stock market first opened this morning. I took some profit on some of these, right? When it first got that quick pump and then came back down. Well, so did almost all these coins. But you see Bitcoin has recovered more higher up, more of it than Degen has. So Degen's still looking relatively bearish. OM, bullish. Right now, OM has been weird. It's been trading sideways chop when a lot of stuff was going down. It waterfall like everyone else, but it came back up. It's bullish relative to Bitcoin. So right now we're looking at FartCoin and OM are more bullish. And you start making a list, okay, and trading you like I have here. I'm not going to go through. I got like a couple hundred coins on here. I'm not going to go through all of them. But I just want to kind of show you guys an example. This is how I do it so quickly. For me, I'm just like, okay, XLM, about equal to Bitcoin. Sweep, about equal, a little bit higher. Myro, about equal. Here, you're going to find that most are about equal, right? Some are higher. Ondo, a little more bullish. You see this went all the way back up, right? Past this hill here. Let's see. Solana, a little bit bearish compared to Bitcoin, I would say. It hasn't quite recovered, but not a lot. Tau has been more bullish here recently. And so I would be making a list. You can make a separate list over here. You can make a new watch list by clicking this if you wanted to. Excuse me, going down here, you could create a watch list for it. So, and you can reorganize these. So you kind of make a list. Or obviously you could just take them from my Discord when I kind of put them in there. But this is how you can search for them yourself, right? So Tau recovered this whole hill. And I'm telling you this because I have experience. Like, as this continues on, like the next day and day after that, you're going to see the relative strength are probably going to continue to hold up. Like the recent strength are going to continue to hold up strong. So what's going to happen is, when there's a bounce, like if you want to go long, you want to do a scalping strategy with a long bias, pick one of the bullish tickers. If you want to go short, pick one of the bearish tickers. You feel me? This is going to give you a better chance that not some crazy candle is not going to blow up in your face hella hard. And that's really what it comes down to. As I'm trying to protect you guys from getting wrecked. So as I go through these, I want to short weakness and go long strength. AVAX, I call that about the same as Bitcoin. ETH. What do you know? ETH is bearish. So ETH is another one to short on a short list. ENS is tracking ETH. Notcoin is actually better than you might think. BCH. Trump has been bearish. Sun has been bearish. This is a real small one. But I mean, these ones that are real bearish, you set those aside like, oh, this is a shorting opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, as soon as I think things are going to turn bearish again, this is the one I want to short. You feel me? You start getting that list together. Some moon. Some of these are just down so much. I just like you wonder how much lower they can go. But we're going to call that even to Bitcoin. Woo. Here's the thing: you can't trade them all, right? You can't trade them all. You only need one or two, maybe three or four, if you want to get a little bit loose with it. But I'm going to tell you why you might want four, and I'm going to have a real life example of what happened yesterday to me because I wasn't here. I didn't do the live stream yesterday, so I'm just on my phone. So here we go. Zilliqa has been relatively bearish. APT about the same as Bitcoin. DOM actually about the same. I don't know what the hell's going on with this coin, right? So some of these are just blatant anomalies, right? This just fell off a cliff. So maybe you just stay away from this coin. It's got its own thesis going on. I'm trying to find the coins that are somewhat correlating with Bitcoin's price movement. And then I'm going to set those aside if they're a little more bullish, a little more bearish. Obviously, there's some cryptos that are just completely divorced from it, or they're doing their own thing. You got, if you got a handle on that coin and you're good at trading, its price predictions, price action, its movement, okay, trade it. But if not, you don't got to trade them all. You really don't. You feel me? Alice, this was a metaverse token, relatively. I'm gonna just go through the rest of this list. Let's see. We got Ethereum Classic, about the same. Sheeb, about the same. Because here's the thing, I'm telling you guys, I did this. I'm glad you guys find this helpful because obviously I'm trying to help you guys out if you're in my private Discord so I can just give it to you. But you could do this on your own. When I kind of established this, it was like it just helped me organize everything so I could just cycle through these so quickly. Like my brain I just picked this stuff up so quick. I can just see it. Relatively bullish or that was relatively equal. Blast a little bit down. There's a million coins, you guys. ZK is the bearish ticker. About the same. About the same. Used to love shorting this. About the same, though. Virtuals. You do got to kind of adjust this a little bit, but about a little bit bearish, actually. You feel me? Okay, these are the AI coins. Cody, relatively. I mean, obviously everything's been built bearish, so we're getting a bounce. How long will last? I don't know. This is. God, some of these are down so much. I'm up like over 4,000% on this coin. But this is, it's getting a bounce. This is why, and this is the thing too. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say relative to like way back here because like that's a different animal. I'm talking about recent, right? Because if we're doing some short-term trading and stuff, we want to know like, okay, but recently, what's the price action? Are there buyers for it? Are people excited about it? You know what I mean? That's what I really want to know. And honestly, algos are pumping some of this stuff too. You know what I'm saying? But clearly, I mean, that's about enough. Sandbox, okay, about the same. That's fine. We found a few that were extraordinarily bearish. And we found a couple that were real bullish relative. FartCoin is like, I tell you, man, that's a meme coin that's like holding strong if you want to go long. At least right now, it's FartCoin season. It's FartCoin season. Check it out. You feel me? Like way above here. If that had happened here, I would have been fucked. Remember how perfectly I called that top? I called that top hella perfectly. But shit, you never know. If it decided to do one of these, I would have been toast, right? Except for the fact that I would have stopped out. So, anyways, we kind of established that. FartCoin, this was a little bit of an anomaly because it had that big splash. So let me tell you what happened. So let's see. I was in several coins. I'm not in anything right now. We're going to go over to Phemex real quick. I'm not in anything right now. As you can see, I closed them. I saw this. Okay, you can see it actually. You can see the little arrow. This is Bitcoin. I saw this rolling over. If you can see that little arrow, I saw this rolling over. That arrow doesn't really get bigger when you zoom in, but it was right on this candle. And I saw a red dot on a 10-minute, and I was like, I'm not convinced that all of this is going higher. Let's see what the 1 hour was looking like for me real quick. Because all I had left of this, I'm kind of working in backwards order now. My last trades I got out of were Bitcoin and Tron. Same deal for both of them. I got out at the exact same time because I saw this rolling over, and they were both kind of rolling over. And I was like, this is the 1 hour. That was, I guess, here. About here. Let's see. What time was that exactly? This is 23:20. The hell? I don't know. 23:20. What is that? Oh, this is on a different time zone. I forgot about that. I forgot about that. I know we could tell what hill it is, though, right? Let me just put it on the 10-minute. We could tell for sure real quick. So, yeah, it's right. It was right here. It was right here. So, yeah, 16. So, 16:30 is 23. They're 4, 5, 6, 7 hours apart. So, you could see here. Oh, how the heck? Look, somehow I accidentally clicked this. Okay, down here is market. We'll go back to TradingView. Down here is Market Cipher B. So, what I was showing you on Phemex, this is about what I saw on TradingView, right? So I saw this red dot here, and I was like, okay, if this is the top rolling over, better to take my profits. You feel me? I said, okay, how should we play Fart? Weirdly, I get in long in Bitcoin strength, and I still see numbers moving. Yeah, FartCoin's a tough one right now. I'm gonna come right back to FartCoin in a second here. I'll just show what I did, so we're gonna move backwards so you guys can track the trades I did. I'm gonna definitely come back to FartCoin. It's an interesting one. So we got a red dot here, which is why I ended up getting out. And then I was gonna try to look at the 1 hour. So that was 1620, 1630. So we'll call it. I just want to see if we had a red. We did. We had a red dot starting to appear somewhere between here and here, and I was like, not really worth it to take the risk. You feel me? This is looking kind of high. No problem. I mean, green is green. You guys, I won the trade. You see where I got in at down here? I got out right here. That's great, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not mad at that. You feel me? Like that's a win. You know what I mean? And so it was roughly the same for Tron. I didn't feel like Tron. I didn't have as good entry. So that was the other thing, and I want to talk about this because I did not trade these perfectly. You can see I got a good play on Bitcoin, but I did not trade all the other ones perfectly. And I want to talk about this because you don't always get everything. All the entries great, right? I got that great entry on FartCoin when I shorted, but that ain't how it is every time. This time I got in like here. I don't even think I caught this on the way up. I think it went like this. What I did not do, or maybe, I have a short here. I must have got in on the way back on Tron. Tron, I did. I got in on Tron after I saw this bounce here because Tron had been relatively bullish. Now, this is the thing. As Bitcoin started to go higher, kind of, Tron was kind of sputtering. It didn't have this wick here yet. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I was up. I didn't make a lot of money on it, but I was like, what if I'm wrong? Is basically my thought. What if this happens to do one of these? Give me my money. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was more of a risk management decision. I was wrong, right? It went higher, but I won a trade. The yellow is where I entered. I didn't lose. I didn't make a lot of money, but I won a trade. And this was more of like a just in case, protect yourself to the downside because I felt funny about this bounce. All right. We know why this crash happened, overseas and this and that and, the bad weekend, whatever. This bounce wasn't the strongest bounce in the world to me. It wasn't the most convincing. It was Monday. Oh, and here's the other thing, too. I forgot to tell you guys this. Maybe you saw it on Twitter. Maybe you didn't. They opened the stock market with a rumor that Trump was going to cancel the tariffs, which was what caused that initial spike here. At 7. That's why it shows 7 in the morning and 6:30 the market's open my time, right? That's a kind of irresponsible / dangerous scenario. I mean, but listen, the market doesn't owe us anything, We got to trade it the way we could trade it, but you could see here, the open was here. That's where we got this big scam wick, and then it came all the way back down. So I was a little bit nervous still that there would be some shenanigans. You feel me? So today was more of a cautious day. Again, I won the trade, but also because I didn't get a great entry. So you see the red line is my stop loss, but I didn't want to lose all that just in case. You feel me? So I was like, nah, let me just get out of this. I'm not feeling it. Also, it wasn't looking like it was giving me an extraordinarily bullish bounce relative to Bitcoin. So, and that was all I had left. Now, before that, I was in XRP and this one, and a Zcash, right? Which is like a privacy coin. So, again, not perfect entries, as you could see, right? A lot of times I like to be way down here, but I got kind of hit. I didn't have as big of a big leverage on this because I knew when you're trying to catch a falling knife like this, you guys, I'm not always doing the 25x leverage on those, right? I think I was 10x. I may have even been, I think I was 10x leverage on XRP. I was going to still show you, but whatever. I closed out the trades. It's not here anymore. I think I was 10x leverage on XRP. Actually, I might have put it in the, let me see if I put it in the Discord, actually, the winning trade. Let me see if I put it in the Discord real quick. I did. Here we go. Let me show you guys in the Discord real quick so I can show you what I had. So this was XRP. That was the Bitcoin one. The first Bitcoin one. Then we had XRP. I was at 15 leverage X on XRP. It's not quite as volatile, right? Just trying to get fun. We're going to come back to breakout prop in a second, Red Man. Oh, for all y'all watching, please like and subscribe. Follow all that kind of stuff. Share with your friends. Appreciate that. And comments and all that stuff. But we're going to get back to breakout prop. If you guys don't know breakout prop, I have this discount referral code. Is a discount code up here. I'm an affiliate with breakout prop and Phemex. So if you put this code in every time you purchase an valuation, you save a little bit of money. And obviously you need my Phemex referral link in order to join the private Discord. So that is, just want to get that housekeeping out the way. But let's go back real quick to this. So yeah, I only did 15x leverage on XRP. And what I do, and if you see here, I only did 5x leverage on Zcash. Now here's why. And because this goes back to a question somebody asked, it's a good question. How do you determine what leverage to do? And it's circumstantial. It really is. I know that's not a great answer, but let's just go over it in this circumstance. So we're coming off a big, massive waterfall. I'm not jumping into some crazy 50x leverage right here. And altcoins, not really. And XRP is not quite as volatile as something like Zcash. So, I'm able to catch I'm able to catch in here, and I don't know if you're gonna have this and a bounce and a roll back over. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes things will do this and then this, right? So I'm like, okay. I had a feeling we were reaching a bottom though, so I wanted to go in. I thought this was a confirmed reversal. I think I entered here. If I didn't, you know what? I may have entered on the way down on these actually. I think I might have entered on the way down. But by doing only 15x leverage, it gave me more wiggle room, basically. And so that's why I didn't get stopped out. Now, on Zcash, this is what happened. Here's the full story on Zcash, okay? I actually did get stopped out. So Zcash, to me, had been looking like it was a little more bullish relative to Bitcoin. So I got in I don't know where it was, like here or something, and then I got stopped out when this epic candle hit. Now, I knew that Zcash is a real shitter. So I didn't want to have super high leverage. I had 5x leverage. You know what I'm saying? I was not going big on it. So it's good and that's bad. It depends on how you calculate your money, right? That your actual bottom line is how big is your actual your money relative to how big is the position, right? So I actually had a decent size amount of money in there. It was only 5x, but so instead of changing the amount of money I put in, it was actually equaled more money, and I got stopped. It's actually, this is a lesson learned, by the way. I didn't even have a stop, really. I think I just got liquidated hella quick. This candle was brutal. But I saw it because I get all these flashes every time I get a bunch of alerts every time something crazy happens, and I just always check, right? And again, I was on my phone and shit. So I was like, okay, well, something is going on. Zcash is moving later, and it's also, but I didn't lose this whole thing. I got stopped out, I don't know, somewhere up here. You know what I'm saying? This was an epic candle. I was like, holy shit. So I was like, look, there's going to be a bounce. You know what I'm saying? I put it this way, I would bet on it. So I actually, because that position wasn't huge, I doubled up. I waited. I think I got in on this. Honestly, I got in on this green candle. I was like, I think the reverse will happen, and this is also why. Okay, and this is circumstantial here. Look at what Zcash likes to do. Zcash gives you these kind of crazy wicks. You see what I'm saying? So you can see now that I move this up, I had my stop loss way down here. Because I was like, just in case it wants to do something crazy, I don't want to get stopped out. Now, is that a good idea? In general practice, no. This is me breaking the rules of trading, okay? That was not a good idea. I could see roughly support here and here, but I knew it was capable of scam wicks. But I also knew that it was capable of big bounces. And so that's why, and especially if you look at it like on any, more of like one of these time frames, these wicks look like crazy moves on this coin. I mean, look at it from way up here. You know what I'm saying? That's a waterfall and a half. But it bounced. So my gamble, if you will, my assessment was this was a big waterfall. I'm going in. I was probably prepared to, I put this down as low as I could. Below it, I was like, man, if it go better worse than that, then we really in a shitfall. But this candle was so much more like of an anomaly that compared to all the other coins. I was like, somebody blew their load already. You know what I mean? Whatever short that was, manipulation, whatever. What I wasn't sure of is how high I would go. So first I got in here, and then I started getting nervous when it was coming back down again. I came back up. So what time is this now? Now it's in the morning now. I woke up. I was like, whew, I'm green. Because I did have more money on it than I should have also, which takes into consideration all this stuff, right? It's only 5x leverage. So I kind of had a bigger amount of real money on it because I wanted to allow myself some wiggle room. So then when it started pumping again, when I got out, I think I got out right about here. I didn't do well. I did well because I had a lot of more money on this trade. That was the other reason. So that's the other thing. You just got to take all the factors into consideration. I think it was this candle that I started to come down again, and I just got out. Now, again, I mean, I know this does not look like a big move. It was a legit amount of money from here to here. You feel me? In fact, you see it was it says a 26% move, but if that had been, 50x, that'd be 260%. Now, let's say I wouldn't do 50x on a coin like that very often. So, but I mean, let's just call it 10x. That would have been 50% move just in this little amount here. You know what I'm saying? So, like with a lot of, relatively large amount of money, green is green. I was like, give me my money. So it was also, again, though, I didn't get a perfect entry. I wasn't way down here. It was the same idea as the Tron, which happened later, which was kind of like to protect my downside. Because I was like, what if I'm wrong, bro? I'd be mad as hell if I finally, I won back everything that I lost when I got stopped out here. I did do that. But if this had come like this and I watched it, I'd be mad. You know what I'm saying? Hootie hoo, what's up, man? Good to see everybody in the chat. Clay, Redman. So anyways, that's my thought process on some of these, and I didn't trade it perfectly, and like I said, it wasn't in the most ideal situations. I got myself out of it. I'm net green. If you look at when we started this, let's take a look real quick at Phemex. When we started this channel, started the live streaming, and I started this sub account, I put in $1,000. I'm at $14.29. Now, is that great? Honestly, everything's relative when it comes to money. However, that's not bad. I was thinking about it. I was like, I've been taking some pretty small positions. I haven't been trying to do anything too crazy because I'm not trying to have too many crazy risks in this account because it's my example account. But I was like, look at it. It's been 2 weeks to the day since I started this, right? That was 2 Mondays ago. And if I'm up 42, 43%. If you were trading in the stock market, 43% in a year would be like the greatest hedge fund in the world. They'd be talking about you, he made 43%. So, and this is what the advantage of leverage trading gives you. I made 43% in 2 weeks. Now, that doesn't seem that crazy considering I got P&Ls here that say 200% and this and that. But you got to understand, those were small positions. I was taking very little risk. I never had a trade. I don't even know if I ever had more than $500 or $600 total of this $1,000 on anything. You know what I'm saying? I never had that much money on anything. You know what I'm saying? This is batting singles. This is not even going hard. You know what I mean? This is my average position is $100. That's a 10% of the bankroll. That was what I call 1 unit. A lot of them were half of that. You know what I'm saying? Of the actual money, right? Depending on how high the leverage is, it could be a bigger position. But I just haven't been taking that big of a risk. So this is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? It's not it's not amazing. I haven't doubled my bankroll in 2 weeks, but I don't know. I'll take 43% in 2 weeks. Slowly but sure. And not taking any crazy risk. That's the main thing. I have taken bigger risk in my personal account, but just as the example account. So anyways, I think that's pretty good, relatively speaking. It's also my first 2 weeks live trading. I haven't done a hell of a lot of breakout prop, to be honest with you. But just because I kind of I'm trying to track this stuff in a way that's the most digestible way. But anyways, we got some requests. FartCoin, let's take a look at it right here. FartCoin. FartCoin's epic, man. So you're thinking long, short, whatever. God, I feel like this again. Oh, let me go back. My bad. Let me go back to TradingView. Oh, this is when you have it on both. I rearranged my screens here, so now you got me here. We got TradingView like this. I'm able to do this and then switch tabs. So now, if it will show up, I got breakout prop in here, and I can just switch tabs here without having to come on. Here's FartCoin on here. Ooh. So the question is okay. Oh, and I have some other tabs. I got this one. I got my YouTube music video. All right. So anyways, but I got it like this, or we can zoom in and see them bigger. That's kind of, because when I trade, I do have it like this, where I can look at TradingView down below, and I'm it's like split screen, and I'm looking at market Cipher B and stuff, and then I'm trading on the actual either breakout prop or Phemex above it. But for viewing purposes, I got it bigger here or here now. So I did that before today's stream. I'm getting a little bit better at Meld Studio. Appreciate y'all rocking with me this whole time. So now, FartCoin. What do we do from here, right? That's always the question. I don't care what it did yesterday. What do we do now? So, boy, gosh, that is a hell of a move. Look at TradingView again. She was shooting off the screen here. It's just like I felt this was a big move up. Shit, I feel like this is a big move up. But then again, I'm breaking my rule if I try to short this thing here. Am I chasing this here? Hell no. I'm not chasing nothing this high. Not in this market. If this was after the election and everything's bullish and the fervor's going crazy, and then you do Crypto Face talking about, he's I'm going to long the top. I ain't longing no tops right now. Okay, that I ain't doing. So, is this going to roll over right here? Well, if we look at market Cipher B, 10-minute, we'll start in the small time frame first. 10-minute, we got a red dot, right? But it's not the most bearish red dot I've ever seen in my life. This is one I want to wait for maybe Bitcoin to give me a clue. Bitcoin's trying to consolidate and roll over. Let me go back to this. Bitcoin's trying to consolidate and roll over here more than you can even see that. You can even tell here that FartCoin has been relative. This is the 1 minute chart too, by the way, guys. This is a 1 minute chart. You can even tell here that Bitcoin has been relatively bullish in the matter of minutes, considering just like this is 1800 right here, and then we'll put this on the 1800 clock. So since this little dip, Bitcoin had dip at 1800, this is 1800, like we've seen more green coming up here, and it's still trying to hold up. It still has buyers stepping in where Bitcoin is starting to fall. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm looking at, that's why I have them split. We got them relative. Like, okay, look, Bitcoin, if I was going to short FartCoin, do it right now. You know, like we'd be like, okay, let's just do it. You know, let's just see what happens, you know? So I entered a short on FartCoin here in breakout prop. Let's just see what happens. You feel me? Now, okay, so now let's be smart because FartCoin will blow up in your face. Let's put on a stop loss, okay? Let's say, so all you do is you double-click it. That's how I do it. I double-click it, and then you're going to click stop loss. Let's see. This is not a big position. I don't even know how much I picked. I just jumped in it real quick. 1,000 lots, and it's even no damn money. How much is it? Anyways, let's say we're gambling that this wick is the top wick, right? It shoots above that. My short's invalidated. We cut our losses, get the hell out. So let's say that's at 6050. Let's say 6060. What do I lose? I lose $9.80, which is a small percentage. Let's see if I put it here right. So you can go like that. Now it's on here. You can grab it and move it up a little bit if you want to. This will repop up here. And then you just go like this. What did I put on it? I didn't put nothing on this thing, huh? Let's see. Let's look at take profit, right? So let's say, so this ain't nothing, right? If I were to lose this, I would only lose $12.40. That ain't really nothing, right? But let's see. What if I did a take profit, right? Instead of price, just for the hell of it, let's say like not percentage of balance, projected profit. If I wanted to make $50, what did I say? So losses, so let's say $48, right? It's a 4-to-1 ratio. Where would it put it at? So I'm safe now. If I walk away from my computer, I'm going to get stopped out, right? Like nothing, the power goes out, I'm not done. I'm not toast. So I always do stop loss first. Now let's see. What if I want to take profit? Down here, that's way down here. That's not inconceivable to me. So take a look, right? Again, I didn't draw a whole bunch of support and resistance. I can just tell by looking at it, right? So you got a little trading range here. So your support and resistance range is like from here to here, right? In fact, I think you can draw lines on here on breakout prop. Maybe there's another way of doing it. You can. Oh, here we go. You do it price line. So like, support and resistance here on breakout prop. It's like here and here. Oops, I got to click it again. I hardly ever do. I don't really usually do TA on here, but sometimes you do it just to kind of keep a track of something, right? So you guys can see that, right, on breakout prop. So you're saying, okay, this was this trading range. If you ever seen a lot of people use this, I know AJ regularly uses it, that liquidity thing. I'm going to show you real quick on an indicator on TradingView that has like it looks like volume, but it's to the side. It's showing you like volume. It's like liquidity. I don't use that because I don't need it. I can just look at it and see. But this is basically what it is that it's saying like you're going to see, what is it? I think it's the VPV. I think that's what it is. Yeah. I haven't used it in so long. It was cool at first, but I could just see what it was showing me. It was just showing me that there's more. Like if there was yellow popping out from the side, it would be taller here and a little bit taller here. You get what I'm saying? The more I zoom out, then it adjusts and it'll be taller here. That's all it is. It's just like where price was consolidating. So I don't really need that thing like messing up my screen. But anyways, this is what it would be showing was the last little sideways range, right? And it almost correlates with this wick here. Remember, this is the frosting now on the cake, right? We first looked at this 10-minute red dot. That's why I started here. And now I'm back up here looking at the at the price chart. So look, I got a pretty tight stop, right? What's going on? We got ABR. I don't know if the real names. Oh, that's Poppy in the building. What's going on? Poppy Abraham. Hey, I was just on his we were just doing look, we're getting a win right now. We were just doing a arena stages earlier today. And same deal as me trying to help out new folks and whatnot. So thanks for joining real quick. If you can see, we just jumped into a trade here, actually, just an example trade in FartCoin. A short, my hunch so far is correct, right? I started down here. Started my TA down here. I didn't even have to draw a hell of lines and shit. I'm just doing it for the hell of it. I see a nice 10-minute red dot here. I didn't even look at this. I was just like, man, enough's enough. That was what I was really looking at. I was like, FartCoin did this. I caught this one this is what, Monday or whatever, Friday? Last Friday? Yep, that was Friday. And I'm looking at this overbought action again. And I'm like, this is some bullshit. So I'm like, okay, even though this is a bullish ticker and I'm breaking one of my rules right now. Yes, volume profile. Thank you, Blockchain Cowboy. Volume profile. I don't really need to put on the volume profile chart because I could just see it by looking at it. You know there's going to be higher volume here. So, okay, so what did we do? We were talking about take profit. So I put my stop loss above the top wick, right? Like enough's enough, right? And it tried to break up, look, but it didn't make it. So far my short is making sense, right? I entered right here, tried to go against me, and it sputtered out, right? So now things are going in my favor. Yee-hee. Man, breakout prop's fun. I like the short term. This is the 1 minute chart. Oh, here we go. Let me go back to breakout prop. This is the 1 minute chart on breakout prop, right? You can see right here, I entered. Let me get it bigger for you. This red candle right here is where I entered. It went against me at first, right? I zoom way in. It went against me at first, scam wick, and sputtered out. And I put my stop loss above the last wick high. And so far, so good, right? So I'm already up a 1-to-1 ratio, right? I remember it was about a little bit less than that, right? It was, so if you double click this, my stop loss is at $12.40. And I was trying to see, okay, where do I want to put in? I was kind of just guesstimating at first where I want to put my take profit. It landed about down here. That would put me at about a 4-to-1 ratio. That's why I put it down here, $48, 12 to 48, so it'd be a 4-to-1 ratio. It doesn't have to be a 4-to-1 ratio. Let's just say, okay, I want to take profit at the top of these wicks. Maybe that's a safe place. Could it go farther down? Sure, it could go farther down. But like if this wants to get filled back down again, all this movement, this is Bitcoin over here. And just remember, too, by the way, this is one more piece of information that I utilized to enter this trade. I saw Bitcoin starting to break to the downside, and FartCoin had not yet. And a matter of fact, I got in. I was, quote-unquote, wrong. It actually broke to the upside, but then it broke down, and this was the scam wick. There's always a scam wick, you guys, even on the 1 minute chart. You see what I'm saying? There's always a damn scam wick, okay? I swear to God, this is a blow-off top. When people talk about cycles, there's a blow-off top. There's blow-off tops at every time frame, even the 1 minute. I look at them all the time. So now I'm like, okay, well, Bitcoin is still doing its thing, which gives me a little more confidence. But again, I'm breaking the rule here. I'm shorting a bullish ticker. So, I got to be wary of that. If Bitcoin wants to turn around on me, FartCoin might just go to the moon. You never know, right? If I saw Bitcoin starting to turn around on me, I might just take profit and get the hell out. Because look how it's still bullish compared to Bitcoin. It's trying to go up. There's a lot of buyers in FartCoin right now. I don't know why. Okay, I guess because there's a lot of hot air floating around out there in crypto. But this is the best meme coin of the cycle, or the last strong meme coin of the cycle. I should say that. But Bitcoin is not showing me no damn strength. You know what I mean? Like eventually, FartCoin will break. If Bitcoin keeps going down, I don't give a damn how many people are in FartCoin. FartCoin will break if Bitcoin keeps going down. This ain't leading the market. You feel me? But it is bullish, so we have to be cognizant of that. So I would say, okay, my take profit, coincidentally, it happened to be dead center of this at a roughly 4-to-1 ratio. Well, I don't need to be 4-to-1, right? No need to be greedy, even though greedy's irrelevant. I don't think we're greedy when we're trading. I think everyone's equally greedy. But I would move it to the top of this, right? And that would make me 36. There you go. Perfect. 3-to-1 ratio. So if we draw the little thing that I hate drawing just because it's annoying, this thing, let me copy it real quick. Let's clone it. Right? Oh, it's locked too. Hold on. Let me unlock it. This thing here, just cloning it, makes it look. Oh, my bad. Go back to train view. I clone the widget here. This widget, right? Now, obviously, this is not nearly zoomed in to where. Okay, here we are. Here's the 1 minute on trading view, right? So let's see. Where did I have it? I got it roughly there. I don't feel like typing it all in right now. It's too precise. But I got in roughly here. Right, it was this red candle here, right? And then what am I trying to get out at? Profit at 5601. I could double click it, I guess. Profit level 5601. I had the stop loss much lower. I guess I put in 6086 was where my stop loss was. Again, this is the wrong ticker to short. You could tell by looking at the price action right now. But hold on, I'm gonna show you real quick. I said stop loss is at 6086. So I guess that's what my and then the ratio they're saying is, oops. Oh, it's too damn big. Hold on, give me a second. Because it's too wide, I should say. Let me shorten it way down. Now when I zoom back in, like the 10-minute. Okay, you see it now. They're saying the ratio, risk reward ratio is 2.67 to 1, something like that. But again, you guys look at this. See, this is, again, every time I break the rules of trading, you run a risk. You run a risk. Like my hunch was correct, but this is still a bullish ticker. Look at this. You see what I'm saying? Why am I shorting a bullish ticker? That's actually not a good idea. Bitcoin, just like I said just a couple minutes ago, as soon as Bitcoin decided to show me a little bit of bullish action, FartCoin started taking off. You see what I'm saying? I've done this a million times, you guys. But this is also what we talked about this in the with Abraham in the stages today about getting reps, and I've talked about it with you guys before too. Doing this a million times is how I knew that this would happen. You get what I'm saying? I knew this would happen, right? You guys just saw me call this shit live. I'm like, I probably shouldn't be doing this. However, it's probably going to go down. But then again, if this bounces, this will bounce relatively higher. So why am I shorting this ticker? Like, in all honesty, right? I shouldn't be shorting this one. Then again, all of my other thesis was correct in the fact that it was overshooting, et cetera, et cetera. I kind of basically, this is what I'm quote unquote betting on. I kind of need Bitcoin to pull back in order for FartCoin to pull back. And that's why it's not the right ticker to short. Why do I want to have, I don't want, like FartCoin's bullish. I don't want to have to rely on Bitcoin to do its thing and then hope that FartCoin follows it when it's been relatively bullish. You get what I'm saying? So I probably should be in something else, right? So let's see. Let me take a look. I got to stop loss here. I got to take profit. It doesn't mean I won't win the trade. I could walk away right now. We got everything set. I could go to sleep and wake up tomorrow and we find out what happens, right? If this was the top, if I called it, credit to me for calling it, you know what I'm saying? But like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'll take it. And absolutely, the math is correct. This is a 2-to-1 ratio, not a 3-to-1 because it's 30. It's just 36, but it's really, it's 1 down and 2 up. So 2.67. I don't know. I don't know how to like calculate it. It says risk reward is 2.67. Did I put in those numbers? Oh, maybe I didn't put the starting point in exactly right. Hold on a second. Entry. What is my entry? 5952. Well, that's pretty close. 5962. Let's see. Did I do the math correctly on this? What am I missing here? I'm glad they do the math for you. Yeah, 2.9. Yeah, okay, 3-to-1. No, I'm not doing it wrong. Okay, yeah, so about a 3-to-1 ratio. Okay, I was right the first time. All right, so yeah, about a 3-to-1 ratio. And that's just how, that's like a general rule, right? Because if you did nothing but 3-to-1 ratios and you were right, you could be right like 45% of the time and you would be rich forever. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, Bitcoin starting to roll over. FartCoin holding up stronger. Okay, what we got? Blockchain Cowboy. Look at the 5-minute on Bitcoin. On Bybit, you can see the bear div. Okay. I got to tell you, on the really short time frames, though, the divs they don't mean quite as much because the play will happen so fast that it's already over. But let's take a look. Okay. Yeah, you could say there's a bear div there on the 5-minute here. We're looking at here. We got what he's looking at here. Is this going down? Not a hell of a lot because the second pump is so high. But it is going down. This is a bear div. So what it means is the momentum waves. Oh, my bad. Can I trade you? The momentum waves are going down here. So this hump was a little bit higher than this. This is technically a bear div, especially when you got confirmed on the dots. And then here, you've got price going up. So you can either look at it here or you could look at it above here, right? Price is clearly going up though, right? And then this is coming down. I don't really need to draw a line. I can see it. Again, I think maybe we could be rolling over here. I think we got some sideways chop. I don't have strong conviction in either direction. But again, why I shouldn't be trading FartCoin right now. If I'm going short, I should be shorting Jasmy or something. You know, I don't know, one of the Degen or something. You know, like one of these are more likely to cooperate because if you go back to as soon as we come back to breakout prop, you can see what I mean, right? FartCoin, I'm right back to break even. Meanwhile, Bitcoin shitting the bed. So it's like, listen, you trade whatever the hell you want to trade, but like go long strength and short weakness. I should not be shorting this. And, you know, lesson learned. And, sometimes I do this to test my own theory, test my own system, because I'm kind of good at seeing the price movement, I felt safe enough to give it a go. But this is not the right ticker, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if let's just put in Degen or something. If you open up too many charts for my breakout prop users out there, it will slow down too. So be kind of careful. What I would do is I would refresh is what I usually do. Oh, we don't have Degen on here anymore. That's right. They just purged a whole bunch of coins. Whole bunch of coins got purged on yesterday off of breakout prop. So breakout prop doesn't have it anymore. And the default is Bitcoin here. So, yeah. So, anyways, we're stuck on FartCoin. If I wanted to look at DGen or something, I would look at it down here on TradingView. So this is the split screen. We could keep it on split screen. TradingView, we've got, let's see, what else is bearish? What did we just say was bearish? There's a whole bunch of shit coins. What was bearish? I didn't reorder them. Tau was bullish. Look, Tau's still bullish, even on the short term. And Bitcoin's starting to shit the bed too. So far, Blockchain Cowboy, that bear div's still playing out on Bitcoin. I mean, looking, I would have been better off shorting Bitcoin than shorting FartCoin. Why? Because Bitcoin is relatively bearish compared to FartCoin. And sure enough, that's how it's playing out. And again, I always say I don't like shorting Bitcoin because it's been so strong, but everything is relative, right? You got an 8-week bear div, Clay, on Bitcoin. I'm assuming you're talking about. We'll take a look. Right, short money. So let's see real quick. But I want a shitty McShit coin, something that like we can count on. Like, I should have been in not coin. One of these is what I should have shorted. Let's see. I just had FartCoin pulled up, so I'm giving it a go here. There's not much money on the line. Let's see. All these are pointing down. Look at all these. Pointing down. Bitcoin pointing down. Oh, this one was relatively bearish. Ethereum Classic. Oh, ETH. Can always go to ETH. ETH just doesn't give you as much volatility as some of the other altcoins, but it certainly is bearish. Where's ETH at? Here's ETH. Yeah, I mean, and you see these are all following Bitcoin straight. Here, we'll just do it up here. Comparing 1 minute charts. You can't miss. You comparing 1 minute charts, right? ETH. Here we go. See? ETH pointing down. Let's see. It's about to say 1830. Look at 18. So this is about the same time frame. This says 18. Not sure if you guys can see it. And this says 18. So we're looking at about the same time frame. They're matching pretty great in correlation. Let me move this Phemex logo out the way. They're matching pretty great here in correlation. It had its scam wick. It's starting to come down. Bitcoin had a couple of wicks. It's pointing straight down. My dumbass is in FartCoin trying to fight the strategy. Man, I'm telling you, stick with the system. I love sometimes showing you guys the wrong thing to do so you don't do it, okay? Like, listen, will I win this trade? In order to win this trade, I could win this trade, but Bitcoin is going to have to move. Let's see, I never use, let me see if this works. Brush, does this work? Bitcoin is going to have to come down to like here in order for me to get FartCoin to come down to here. You know what I'm saying? Like Bitcoin is going to have, because Bitcoin's going to have to come down pretty far. That being said, FartCoin is a volatile coin. Anything could happen, just like I had thought that Zcash was a little more, a little bit bullish, and it turned out to be a bearish ticker. So, that could happen, but that's not what you want to bet on. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm trying to bet on. I'm trying to bet on, I'm going to try to stick to the strategy. Because look here, I would have made, if I had just shorted Bitcoin, I'd be up, I don't know how much right now, but I'm FartCoin, I'm just goofing off here, up $303.40. And I have to even check commissions because how much I might get burned on the trading commission. So the trading fee is only 21 cents. And that is one good thing about altcoins. The commissions are so small. You don't have to worry about the spread a little bit sometimes, but the commission is so small, spread is probably not very big. So technically, if I close it now, I'd probably make $3. But I was up, remember, $10 at one point when it was down here. So let's see. I'll say I took a long on FartCoin, still came back to break even. Not really because of commissions both ways. Where'd you enter on FartCoin? For a long? You'd be up right now, I would think. I don't know. I kind of want to get out of this FartCoin trade because it ain't the right trade. And don't feel bad about it, right? If this ain't the right trade, it ain't the right trade. Okay, look. We were looking at a bear div on Bitcoin. Is that ending? If that bear div's ending, I need to get the hell out of FartCoin. That's the other reason. See, that's the other thing. If this bear div is ending, because it's a bear div on a 5-minute, that goes quick. Let's just see. It's not ending yet. Right? We don't even have a green dot on it. Well, we have it on the 1 minute. We don't really have it on the 3 minute yet. What the hell is FartCoin's 1 minute looking like? FartCoin just doesn't even want to go down at all. FartCoin. That's what I'm telling you, man. I swear to God, like if every time I only lose when I break my rules. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the only time you lose. And I mean, technically, I'm not losing right now because I did some of the other rules correct. But when you follow all the rules, you start making money. Okay, you should be up on FartCoin right now then if you did earlier today. FartCoin's been flying. So good call on that. I put it in the Discord that it was one of the bullish tickers earlier today. We're still going down, folks. Here we go. Bitcoin should have been my short. FartCoin still going back down. Let's see how much money I can make on this. Listen, at the end of the day, if this was the top for now, this was the top, and I'll eventually hit my take profit and, all is fair in love and war. But, this is the other thing I was going to talk about. This is why I like sometimes picking 3 or 4 altcoins so you're diversified. And we talked about that too, by the way, with Poppy Abraham on the stages today. Big talk about diversification. And it's especially important when you're dealing with these wild ass altcoins and you don't know what directions they're going in, Like that's what I was saying this morning when I had Zcash open. Zcash turned out to be the wild card that kind of screwed me at first. I made it back, but it was balanced out a little bit by XRP and by Tron and Bitcoin. So, overall, my bankroll wasn't dinged that bad when it got liquidated. You feel me? And then I made it back in Zcash. But like sometimes, so here's another saying they always say in the stock market and stuff. You don't got to make it back the same way you lost it. And that is true, right? That means you don't got to keep averaging down. I didn't necessarily need to go long on Zcash. I kind of had a different hunch because that waterfall was not a normal situation, right? I was like, okay, that was an extraordinary candle. God, look at this. Look at this. Bitcoin is just shitting the bed, doing what it's supposed to do, and FartCoin is just sitting here, not giving me no love. It won't even give me back to here. That's strength. I don't know why, but there's a lot of buyers in FartCoin right now. And the rest is algos. It's like there's the algo controlling the price, and then there's like the rest of us just pushing it a little by a little. You know what I'm saying? I should get out of this. Like, why? Why risk it? If Bitcoin turns around on me on this 3-minute green dot, FartCoin will probably put me in the negative. You know what I'm saying? So just give me my money. This was a bad idea, right? It's a bad idea, but I didn't lose, right? What's my trade history? You see what I'm saying? And that's kind of lesson learned, right? I was good on 4 or 5 of the things looking into it, right? I did my TA down here, at least, just a brief TA down here on Market Cipher B. Let me pull up FartCoin, right? I saw the red dot on a 10-minute is what I saw first, right? I looked up here. I was like, this is overplayed. I was looking at a big wick over here. I was looking at Bitcoin rolling over here. I knew it was a bullish ticker. I took my chances anyways with it. And everything was right, kinda, except it was the wrong ticker. And the ticker that you trade on matters so much. I've been saying it so much because it was a bullish ticker. And it's playing out. It's proven. And you know what? I was wrong, right? I got out. I didn't lose money. Right, I actually made money, $2.38 on I don't know what how much was this even worth off of $300 worth of FartCoin. I made $2 and something. I didn't lose whatever. What is that? 1%? Less than 1%. So on here you can do it. We can load up some big. If I had put 29,000 on it, that would have been a quick $100, right? So a couple $100, right? So there we go. All right, Red Man, good night, bro. Glad you joined here. So, this is a real-time trade. I'm glad I'm getting better with all the windows and shit so I can show y'all how to trade in real time. I didn't really want to trade when I was first starting live because I figured I was going to get messed up clicking buttons over here and shit and then fuck around and fuck up my trade. But basically, I'm glad we got to do it in real time so you can see what I'm talking about. Like you see my thought process in real time. It's much easier for me to show you what's happening when we're looking at these candles like right now. Like this is proof that Bitcoin is bearish compared to FartCoin. Like this, we literally just seen the proof. You know what I'm saying? And so why did I short a bullish one? Probably because I was just kind of trying to give you guys an example. But I took a chance. It didn't work, but I didn't lose. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I was wrong, man. It's like, remember, I'd rather be rich than right. Okay? I'd rather be rich than right. And the system kind of is what protected me. Watching this peak at Market Cipher B is what protected me. I was wrong about shorting this ticker. I really was. But I didn't lose because I kind of stuck to much more of the system. You know what I'm saying? It protected me. And again, we shorted Bitcoin. Bitcoin is, I'd be winning right now if that had been in Bitcoin. Okay? That's all right. That's all right. Pretty much any of these damn coins, I would have been winning. But no big deal, except for Tron. See, Tron's still relatively bullish. Look at Tron. Look, I'll pull it up here now that we're not looking at FartCoin no more. I'm telling you, too, this 1 minute candle, I remember, TRX, not TR. I remember when I was first trading, be like, oh, Someone wrote, I never seen anybody get rich who trades the 1 minute chart. I was like, speak for yourself. I do. I said, I replied, I said, you need to get out more. Okay? You could do whatever. Everything is relative, right? How much money you have is relative, but it's relative to how big of a time frame. And the fact that I can get more reps in trading the 1 minute chart, that's cool, you know? And again, I was right about Tron is still bullish relative to Bitcoin. It's proving it right now. This is blatantly, this is more bullish than FartCoin. You know what I'm saying? Proving it right now. This is on the 1 minute chart. The 1 minute chart you can't hide. That's the thing. The 1 minute chart you can't really hide. You could go down to ticks. I don't even think they allow it. They do here. If you click on it over here on breakout prop, this is showing the ticks. Let me tell you something. You're using that to look at the spread, perhaps, if it's kind of a big spread, but this can be misleading because all of a sudden you'll see it going down. Whoa, and you're like, oh my God, I got to get in. And then over here, it's like move like nothing. Okay. Like the ticks are like super zoomed in. It's good to see and know if you're really, really finger on the trigger situation, you know, but like, or if you have a lot of money and you want to know, because every tick might be $20 and to do 10 ticks in 10 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I do look at this screen when I got a bigger move because I'm precise as all hell, you know? I appreciate that, Blockchain Cowboy. Yes, if you guys haven't already, please like and subscribe and share and, you know, tell your homeboys and everything like that. Tell your homegirls. By the way, as always, we're going to get some women back in this thing. We're going to get some women more. Cassius Cuvée is definitely supporter of women joining the trading community, so we got to get some more women up in this thing. My homegirl, Kayla Love, was the first one on here. Shout out her. Kai joined too. Kai, but she's my business development manager at Phemex. So shout out those ladies. But yeah, let's see. Okay, so look, we're looking here. What coin should I have picked? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's get some ladies up in this thing. No sausage fest. So let's see. What coin should I have picked? Boy, Bitcoin's all of a sudden turned bad. You know what this might be a sign though, guys? This might be a sign of Bitcoin leading down. This is opportunity. All these altcoins, everyone gets excited about an altcoin. Shit, Bitcoin's going down. Well, Ethereum. I guess we should have just shorted Ethereum. Call it, make it easy on ourselves. Look, let's look up Ethereum. Ethereum is just the easiest short in the world, you guys. Just this whole entire run. I've been calling that since last cycle, though, man. I don't know. Ethereum ain't the one, bro. It just ain't. Okay, here we are. Yeah, ETH was the one. ETH was the one. Okay, but now let's say, okay, we're looking for laggards. Let's look for a laggard, right? What is bearish? God, it used to be so many bearish. Sheep, maybe. Sheep follows ETH roughly. Blast. Oh, man, see, yeah, we should have gotten any one of these. These ones I called out. Blast was shitty. I forgot about that. I might move that one up more to the top again. Oh, but it might not be in breakout prop. Some of these really ones, they just purged a whole bunch. Lack of liquidity. Oh. God damn it. Yeah, it ain't on here. So that would be a Phemex one. So that's where we go to Phemex. Let's see. Let's look up Blast here. See if Blast is on Phemex. Yeah, it is. So that's the thing. Phemex also has more tickers than breakout prop. Okay. Is this the same Blast? Got to be, right? That's the 10-minute. Let me go on the 1 minute. We can see it a little bit better. Yeah. Just want to make sure. Is that the same? Sometimes, remember, there's tickers that are not the same. I mean, they're the same ticker, but it's not the same coin. I think it's just how I'm looking at this. Well, let's just see. $25.99. $25.99. Yeah, this is it. Okay. So Blast and Blast. So yeah, I coulda, woulda, shoulda. Perhaps shorted Blast instead of FartCoin. But the thing was, this is really the real takeaway here. I identified the fact that I was in the wrong ticker, and that's okay that I got out. You see what I'm saying? While I was green, right? I'd rather get out green than not win at all. Oh, here's Fart. Is it? Uh-oh. I'd rather get out green than not win at all. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that it's almost like I cut my losses on FartCoin, but really, I won. so I didn't really lose. Why is my thing gone? What the heck? Oh, it was there. Yeah, show it. Hold on. There's some weird setting sometimes on breakout prop, like stuff will disappear. I want to get it back up here. I think I closed it right here. Go FartCoin. What the heck? Here it is. Why won't they show it? glitch. Okay, we're going to just open a new window, new chart, and then I'm going to close this chart. It does that sometimes. One of the charts, so now it's showing. There. Okay. Some kind of glitch. Close that. Okay, FartCoin. So, yeah, FartCoin's going bullish again. That's what I wanted to see. Yep. Remember, that's what I said. I said as soon as Bitcoin starts going up, FartCoin might shoot up, and there it is. So, I quote-unquote, I did the smart move, right? I won in that sense, right? Because I would be red right now if I was going short. You see what I mean? Why wait it out till it gets down here? I'd already be negative. Me getting out here, a lot of, like the old me, when I was new, it'd be like, man, I want to wait for this. At least let me go back to where I was when I was up 10, 11 bucks or whatever, relatively speaking, maybe that would have been 100 and 110 bucks, you know what I'm saying? If it was 11 and I had another zero on it. But I was like, I made a mistake. I tried to short a bullish ticker. The wise move is get out while I still have my head attached. And sure enough, we're minutes later. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes later, and I would have been negative. You get what I'm saying? It's okay to cut your losses or get out quicker than you planned. So, okay, like we always say, we want to have an exit strategy every time we enter, right? This time our exit strategy was this pink line here, right? However, if you're going to deviate from that, it's okay to deviate earlier than it is to deviate later. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't turn a scalp into a long-term trade or, a swing trade into a long-term bag hold. You get what I'm saying? But if you're like, I only made $2, but at least I know I'm not going to lose, get out. And that's the same exact thought process that I had when I got out too earlier today on, what was that, on Zcash and especially Zcash. I had more money on that too. That was a little bit, that played a role in that. But Zcash, Tron, Bitcoin, I wasn't sure. So I took my green while I was looking at it. I know Blockchain Cowboy was talking about this, since he joined the private Discord, he started taking profit a little bit sooner. We're in weird, uncharted, choppy-ass territory. You never know what news is going to come out. They head-faked us with the news this morning about, Trump's going to reverse the tariffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, all this shit happens. I don't know, man. Just get the money. If you start feeling uncertain and you're green, take the green. When you're red, sometimes you got to cut the losses. If you're getting good entries, I'm thankfully to say I haven't been red a hell of a lot since we've been doing this for 2 weeks now. I've been getting decent entries. Some are really good. That one I had liquidation yesterday, I made that back. But I was wrong. And I got out technically green. I'll take it instead of being down. Shit. And maybe too, and honestly too, this wasn't like the strategy as far as here's FartCoin on the 1 hour. We weren't exactly... I was early for sure. I mean, I knew I was early, right? Because you look down here. Let me make market Cipher bigger. Clearly, we were in still a green dot on the 1 hour, right? A bullish ticker, that was really breaking the rules. A bullish ticker with a green dot on the 1 hour is not what I'm supposed to be trying to short. That ain't it. You know what I'm saying? That's really me trying to front run a top here. And that's a risky situation. You do that here when you caught a wick like this or something, So that never should have been my short anyway. So, and sometimes you get a sobering moment. You're like, look, I'm watching Bitcoin drop, FartCoin ain't dropping. Why is it not dropping? Because I've got a green dot on the 1 hour and everything's going against me. But thankfully, I haven't been killed yet. Let me just get on out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, market Cipher B is powerful, bro. It is. It's powerful as hell. This down here, bro, this is the one. So, for scalping, which is what I'm doing. This is on TradingView. I got the 1 hour. I should say here, TradingView, I've got the 1 hour and the 10-minute for the scalping strategy. But on breakout prop, I'm on the 1 minute chart, right? So I'm kind of looking at 3 time frames at a time. Really, I guess I don't really need to keep it on the 1 hour because once I see what the trend is, it's up. It's just this is so high already. I feel like it's gonna roll over eventually, but you don't want to front run something that high too because that means there's a lot of momentum to the upside, and it could keep going. You kind of want to wait until it starts turning back down, to be honest with you, which is why I say wait. The core strategy is you wait until you see the first red dot on the 1 hour, then you wait for the next red dot on the 10-minute, and then you start doing the scalping strategy down because now I know I'm trading with the trend. That's the core of the strategy. My problem is I like to go in too early, as I just showed you guys here, but, I realized my error of my ways, and I got the hell out. And I got out relatively unscathed, right? I actually was green. So, no problem. No harm, no foul, right? Bat the singles, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's that. You know what I mean? We looked at the tickers. Let's just see. I don't have to go on and on too much longer. Boring is better. Yeah, when people say it's a good time to buy, that's not an investment strategy. I want to say that. Oh, I did notice, too, a lot of people got breached on breakout prop. And the way I know that is because I saw that they bought back in. And so, they got breached yesterday when all this shit, collapsed, right? What I want to say to that is perhaps you should use a smaller percentage of your bankroll, which is why I say I like getting the $100,000 on the evaluation, but then just use a smaller amount. Use only 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 maybe, depending on what ticker. 20,000 if it's a ticker that doesn't move that much, like Bitcoin, or maybe 25. Bitcoin I'll go up a little bit higher. But my point is, there's no reason to use 50% of your bag. But when you only get 10,000, you want to have some game. You want to have some money in the game. So you start trying to use 5,000 of the 10,000, and then what ends up happening is that's actually 50% of your bankroll. So then a quick move against you of 10%, you're already down. For the day. You're minus 4% in the day, and you get breached. And I know a lot of people got hit by this. They did, or that wouldn't be that one. Excuse me. It'd be this play here. Let me get on Bitcoin here. A lot of people I know got hit on these damn scam wicks. And my response to that would be, or here we go, right here, Sunday. My response to that would be just have a smaller position size, So when or tighter stuff, you better have a tight stop loss, you know what I'm saying, 1 or 2, because I don't want to see you guys get breached on breakout prop, I want you guys to keep winning. So I definitely want to call that out because I could tell how many people got breached because I could see how many signups happened the next day or at the same day. Let's see. Weekends are unpredictable. We talked about this in the last stream on Saturday for show. Can't remember who said it, but yeah, weekends, you had a whole metaphor for it. Weekends are unpredictable as hell. And that's pretty much everything I had to cover. Any other things you guys want to cover or questions, or things that need to be addressed? And then, as always, you can always put it in the private Discord if you guys are in there. If you're not in the private Discord yet, the way you get in there, for anybody new watching this video, the way you get into the private Discord is by using my Phemex referral code. So I got the Phemex referral code on the screen here. Can't really show it, but you see it right there. GMMNX5. That's an invitation code. So you can create a Phemex account. There's a link in the bio, in the description of this video. You can create a Phemex account. That's my referral link. And I don't get paid like an affiliate for that, whatever. But the way it works is you use that to create an account, and then I get credit for you signing up under my referral, okay? And so then that way you can take your user ID and you put it, it's going to say to verify to join the Discord. You put your user ID from Phemex in there, and then that's how you get into the Discord. First 50 people are getting 1 year for free. And so you do have to, you put in your credit card in WAP, but it clearly says 365 days, $0. You're not getting charged, none of that. So then you're in. And that's how you get into the private Discord. Use the Phemex one. If you're somebody who, for whatever reason, cannot use Phemex, and you want to, but you do use the breakout discount code GGRF7W, and you get one of the top 2 ones, either the 50,000 or the 100,000, I'm going to find a way to get you in the Discord as well. You got to hit me up on something. DM me on Twitter. I don't do any, as just a general rule, I don't discuss anything in the DMs of Discord because it's just too easy to impersonate folks. But on Twitter DMs, I can cross-reference it. You know it's the real me, and I know it's the real you. And just leave the comment under the video as well. And that's pretty much it. We mostly just chilling, you know what I'm saying? Your boy is just chilling right here. Just like the song says.
Devin a dude. You see me traveling, damn it, Jim, this thesis is unraveling. Specs are at navigant. Do it look like I'm panicking?
Do it look like I'm
got shook and froze up like a mannequin. But
everybody was panicking when that price fell, you feel me? But boy,
this is what you gonna do. Don't chase what's in front of you. Lean on back and relax and let it come to you. Now you know
all right, y'all. All set. Have a good night. We're gonna play this music video out, and we'll cut it off, man. We big chillin' in the Cassius Cuvée group.
Riding
a good name for the group.
You can see it in my eyes. I ain't trying to drive like an open door helicopter. I'm so fly, so high. I'ma try to eat the pie in the sky. Time to buy and fly somewhere way overseas. Kick back, taste some trees with my face in the breeze. See, for me, I execute patience with ease. Poolside, daydreaming about making them squeeze. They wanna kick me off the street and send me back to the Ave. I think they thought that we'd be mad that the specs are at Nav. I just laugh. You realize my first name is Cash. I always keep some extra stash never down to my last. You should follow on the gram so you can see my journey. Now I get to watch Fast Money 3 hours early in Kauai, right beside me. You should spend a day with me and act like a SPAC. Take a little vacay with me. Faithfully they stay with me. Don't take them back or take them out. I ain't got no savings. I just use them as my bank account. Rarely losing the trade. It's foolish I made all this money. Now it's sunny, but I'm cool as the shade. Just chillin'. Yeah, we just chillin'. Me and Spax are just chillin'. Shout out to just chillin'.
Appreciate y'all.
Check it. Just chillin'.
Signing off. Your boy Cassius Cuvée. From Oaktown all the way to Kauai.
Yeah.
All the way to the metaverse in these
Just
charts
chillin'.
every day, man. Shout out Breakout Prop,
Reporting live from
Phemex,
Hawaii.
Trading
Boy
View.
Cassius Cuvée. Peace.
Peace.